Hunter with Burley Bags and the Cornhole Collective, and today I'm going to show you how to get an entire set of cornhole boards from just one sheet of plywood. So here I'm going to be starting with a 5x5 sheet of Baltic birch. That's right, a 5x5. This Baltic birch is not from the US, and standard plywood internationally comes in a 1225 millimeter by 1225 millimeter sheet of plywood. Luckily that comes out to exactly 5 feet by 5 feet. This is going to be the most common way to source Baltic birch. However, Baltic birch is remade into a 4x8 for the US and a couple of other countries, but since the demand is going to be lower for those, it's going to increase the price per square foot. So the reason I'm using Baltic birch is for its strength and for how solid its layers are. What makes it different than normal birch is every layer of Baltic birch is comprised of only birch. Traditional plywoods, such as domestic birch, are going to be filled mostly with softwoods, such as pine. These softwoods are also going to be riddled with voids, which means whenever you use a screw, it's going to have trouble taking bite out of a pocket of air. The Baltic birch is going to be nearly void-free. Another thing that makes Baltic birch special is it's comprised of more numerous, thinner layers, which allows a higher amount of lamination, which is going to give it additional strength. They're also laid down in opposing directions for additional strength, and since it's comprised only of birch, it means it's going to react to changes in the environment in a uniform manner, whereas a traditional plywood comprised of different materials is going to react differently and could delaminate whenever the environment changes. So Baltic birch is not going to be available at a big box store. You'd want to visit a specialty lumber yard, a place where a cabinet maker might find their plywood. There, you'd also find the same caliber of plywoods that you can get at the big box store, but at a lower price, or even better versions of those that have thicker veneers and a more solid core, as well as just a wider variety of lumber. If you're finding this information beneficial, it would mean a lot if you would take the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. You can turn on notifications to be notified of future videos. When working with a 5x5, it's important to have a strategy when breaking it down to ensure you get your entire set from this one sheet of plywood. So first, we're going to begin by removing 4 feet of this sheet of plywood. From this 4-foot section, we're then going to remove 2 sections that are exactly 2 feet wide. So this leaves us with a 1 foot by 5 foot section, which we're going to get our cross braces and legs from, 2 2-foot by 4 foot decks, and then a 1 foot by 4 foot section, which is what we're going to get our side frame pieces from. So beginning with the 1 foot by 4 foot section, we're going to rip this into 4 2.5 inch boards. These will be our side rails. So for the 1 by 5 foot section, you can either cut to length and then rip into 2.5 inch pieces, or you could rip into 2.5 inch pieces and then cut to length at your miter station and make your legs. I didn't have my miter station set up, and that's actually the easier way to go. And that's how you get a full set of cornhole boards from one sheet of plywood. Now, if you're using a different material for the deck, or you're ordering them pre-printed, you may choose to turn these decks into an additional set of frames, and you'll get one from each deck. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And if you found this information beneficial, please take the opportunity to subscribe to my channel.